Good morning, everyone. We are continuing chapter 36, Merging with Śiva, Karma, the Natural Law, drawn mainly from the 1967 Master Course and some from more recent talks. Lesson 251, the role of the Satguru. Responsibly resolving karma is among the most important reasons that a Satguru is necessary in a sincere seeker's life. The Guru helps the devotee to hold his mind in focus, to become pointedly conscious of thought, word, and deed, and to cognize the lessons of each experience. Without the guidance and grace of the Guru, the devotee's mind will be divided between instinctive and intellectual forces, making it very difficult to resolve karma. And only when karma is wisely harnessed can the mind become still enough to experience its own superconscious depths. That's a very good point there that Gurudev is making. If karma has not been wisely harnessed, the mind is always disturbed. That's the basic point. So it's really impossible to quiet down a mind that's always disturbed. So we need to wisely harness the karma. Then the mind is controllable. The Guru guides and also shares a bit of the heavier burdens. If one is fortunate enough to be dedicated enough to have a Guru who will lend his powers in this way. But each aspect of the karma, the outgrowth of the Dharma, must be passed through by the disciple, creating as little as possible of a similar karma on this tenuous path of the repetition of the cycles of life. The Guru is able, because of his enlightenment or tapas, or as his tapas, to take upon himself the karma of another. Just what exactly does this mean? You have already found such persons at the moment of your birth, your mother and your father, who, perhaps unknowingly, took the full impact of your dharma and continue to take the impact of the karma you create deeply within their nerve systems. If your karma is of a heavy nature, it could disrupt the entire home, and they could suffer because of it. On the other hand, if your dharma is devonic, full of merit accrued by generosity, good deeds, and graciousness in your former life, your presence in their home is a blessing, and the force of your arrival may mitigate influences in their minds of an uncomely nature, bringing peace, harmony, and forbearance into the home. The Guru may take unto himself into his nerve system some of the heavier areas of your karma in the same way your parents perform this function for you, perhaps unknowingly. Planetary changes activate new karmas and close off some of the karmas previously activated. These karmas then wait in abeyance, accumulating new energy from current actions to be reactivated at some later time. These karmic packets become more refined life after life through sadhana. All of this is summed up by one word: evolution. The planets do not cause the events or the vibrations that individuals react to either positively or negatively. The magnetic poles of light or the absence of light release that which is already there within the individual. If not much is there, not much can be released. The magnetic poles and the lack of magnetism are what Jyotisha, Vedic astrology, is telling us is happening at every point in time. Two things, magnetism and its absence, on and off, light and dark, with and without action and no action. Therefore, these keys release within the individual what was created when other keys were releasing other karmas. It is our reaction to karmas through lack of understanding that creates most karmas we shall experience at a future time. The sum total of all karmas, including the journey through consciousness required to resolve them, is called samsara. Dharma is like a box made of restraints and observances. The box contains karma. It allows an individual to work through his birth karmas and prevent unseemly new karmas from being created to be worked out in the next life. Without the guidance of Dharma, the individual is free to make all kinds of new karma. Then we have my commentary. This is from the Karma Management Insight section. So this relates to the planets and karma. Description. Here is the description of a common false concept about karma from the Karma Management Insight section that relates to astrology. You have probably heard people say something like this: my life is in a state of chaos. Everything is going wrong. And it all started 3 months ago when Saturn entered Taurus and my karma changed. I have been advised that if I can successfully appease Saturn through having a priest do regular Sani Puja, my problems will go away. Therefore, this has become the entire focus of my religious life at this time. If that's a real story, it was very interesting. A long time ago, I was staying in downtown Kuala Lumpur. It was near the Twin Towers, so they were lit up at night. I was looking at them as Shiva and Shakti were out there. It was very nice. And this young man somehow knew I was there, and he saw me during the day, and basically it turned out he was in this situation, and the priest had encouraged him to do Sani Puja. He was very busy traveling each day on the train back and forth to work. So his only religious practice, the only thing he did at all, was Sani Puja on Saturday. So that's what got me fired up to write this. I said, that's ridiculous. He's not worshiping Ganesha, not worshiping Murugan Shiva. He's worshiping Sani and has been told that that will solve all his problems. So not a good focus. The fallacy of this attitude is that, yes, karmic difficulties indicated by your astrology can be mitigated, lessened, but not simply by paying a priest to do Sani Puja. If that is all you are doing to work out your situation, that's not enough. In working through the trying times of life, your primary powers are willpower, devotion, and understanding. Such karma can be mitigated through specific actions, but not merely by giving over such duties to others. Second reason this misconception must be rejected is that it attributes the cause of our problems to the planet Saturn, rather than to our own actions in the past. It is like pleading with the jailer to release you from jail simply because being incarcerated is an unpleasant experience, having forgotten about the crime you committed that put you in prison in the first place. Planets don't determine your karma, and neither do the actions of others. It is self-created, and you are the source of it all, good, bad, and mixed. Then we get some Shum words on karma, a series of 3 words. Second dimensional word, yuta, a hoop or circle made of anything. Yuta, karma, a cycle of experience repeating. Kamrayutta, preparing for a new karmic cycle as outlined in Jyotisha. As one enters an area of the mind, he travels through it either quickly or slowly, as a traveler passes through a city. Having had the experience, a new cycle begins. Plans for a new cycle, for entrance into a new area of the mind, can be made while still within a persisting experience. So it's planning for your next karmic cycle. It's a very interesting idea. Kamra Yutta. And lesson 252, categories of karma. We are born. I think that's Gurudeva's shortest sentence. We are born, period. Birth is like going on an inner search travel study program. In preparing for our journey, we pack certain belongings. We don't bring everything that we own, which we could liken to our sanchita karmas. We might try to, but we don't. We only bring 2 suitcases, which we can manage quite easily, one in each hand with wheels on them. Our other suitcases and things in our closet, we leave at home. These are like the karmas that we don't bring with us when we are born. We bring just a certain portion of our karmas to live through in this life, called prarabdha karmas, as we know. Karmas left to be worked out in another life are in seed stage, inactive, hanging in the closet. So here we are, with our 2 suitcases of karma, and the idea is to go through life and come out the other end without the suitcases. Unless we have dharma, which we are committed to and live fully, which has the restraints, unless we have dharma, which we are committed to and live fully, which has the restraints, we would fill up the suitcases again, buying knickknacks, as you all have been doing, so that when you get off the boat, your suitcases are full again. That becomes karma, kriyamana karma. We have choices to not make new karma, especially the ones we don't want to face in the future. That is the cycle of life. It works like that until all the suitcases are empty. The swamis who renounce the world and do tapas are trying to burn the seeds of the karmas that they did not bring with them in this life. They set fire to the whole house. They renounce the world and put restrictions upon themselves that others don't, especially those who are going through their purushartha karmas. You also have to do your karma. Understanding all this, we can see the need for daily discipline. What do we mean exactly by the terms good karma and bad karma? There is good karma as well as bad, though we say there is no good nor bad, only experience. Still, some karmas are more difficult to bear, experience, and re-experience than others. This is where it is extremely important to inhibit the tendencies to let loose the forces that externalize awareness, while at the same time performing the sadhana of realizing the source through internalizing awareness. That is, of course, the biggest challenge, is not to react when faced with difficult karma, but to internalize it. How did I create this? What crazy thing must I have done in my past to generate this in the present? It is this constant pull between the inner and the outer, or individual awareness sewing back and forth between the externalities and internalities, that keeps churning the fiery forces of karma into the smoldering coals of dharma. Good karma is denoted by good merit, since every cause has its due effect. Therefore, so-called bad karma brings injury, pain, misunderstanding, and anguish, which when suffered through completes the cycle. Ancient yogis, in psychically studying the timeline of cause and effect, assign 3 categories to karma. The first is sanchita, the sum total of past karma yet to be resolved. The second category is prarabdha, that portion of sanchita karma being experienced in the present life. Kriyamana, the third type, is karma you are presently creating. However, it must be understood that your past negative karma can be altered into a smoother, easier state through the loving heart chakra nature, through dharma and sadhana. That is the key of karmic wisdom. Live religiously well, and you will create positive karma for the future and soften negative karma of the past. Right knowledge, right decision, and right action imperceptibly straighten out, unkink, and unwind ignorantly devised or contrived past actions. The key word is reform. Reform, remake, recast. To put into a molten state and be reformed is what happens to our karma when we enter dharma. Adharma is creating karma, good, not so good, terrible, mixed, and confused. Dharma reforms all of this, reshapes and molds, allowing the devotee to do good and think good, to be clearly perceptive. Putting all the karma in a molten state is bhakti. Happy karma, sad karma, bad karma, when consciously or unconsciously wanted to be held on to, inhibits bhakti. Bhakti brings grace, and the sustaining grace melts and blends the karmas in the heart. In the heart chakra, the karmas are in a molten state. The throat chakra molds the karmas through sadhana, regular religious practices. The third eye chakra sees the karmas, past, present, and future, as a singular oneness. And the crown chakra absorbs, burns clean enough of the karmas to open the gate, the door of Brahman, revealing the straight path to merging with Shiva. Then we have some series of 3 Shum words. Second dimension, ira, a cat, kitten or kitty. Third dimension, simira, karma, prarabdha. On the path, karmas intensify as many lives relived in one. The prarabdha karmas draw on the sanchita karmas when one is on the path of intense sadhana and tapas. When these 2 karmas join together, many lives can be lived in one single lifetime. Isamira, path of clearing karmas of the past for a brighter future. Sounds good. Have a wonderful day.